Brought to you by businessblueprint.com.au.
So the first thing is malware. So what this is talking about is just basically hackers, bastards who out on the web basically do things, put malicious code, put malicious things on your website. What's happening, and especially in the last 2 months, is a lot of hackers, instead of aiming for individual PCs, they're now aiming at web servers and websites. And the reason why is because they can affect thousands of people in one go, or hundreds of thousands of people. So it's a very big trend. Running a marketing agency, we see I get several calls a week now of, sort of save me type thing, because people's websites have been hacked. So what I'm going to do is show you what to do about it, and so you can prevent it. There's no guarantee that you can prevent it for good, but there's some proactive things that you can do. Can I see a show of hands? Who here runs WordPress? Okay, cool. Okay, can I see who here has updated their WordPress in the last, say, 30 days? Oh, that's quite good, actually. All right, but so if you're running WordPress, there's definitely, and I do for most of my sites as well, there's definitely a few things you need to do because there's a lot of exploits being written for it at the moment. It's a bit like Internet Explorer in the old days where every hacker and his dog's trying to write stuff for it. So we spoke about that they're going after websites, and you'll end up getting, if you get hacked, Google will give you a thing like this. They'll say that you're a reported attack page. And if you're doing Google AdWords and then you get someone put malware on your website, the email that you get from Google is particularly nasty. So it'll be something to the extent of your website is promoting malware and you need to remove it straight away, or you'll be banned from advertising on Google for life and you'll never get another account, along those lines. So it's sort of a bit of a shoot first, ask questions later approach from Google, which isn't nice. So we want to avoid that. So how to prevent it? So the first thing is to back up your site and have regular backups. We use this thing called Backup Buddy, and that'll take up and it'll back up off to Amazon S3, that sort of thing, and it'll do it according to whatever schedule you want. And the reason why this is important is because you ever get malware, sometimes the quickest way to get it back is to go back to an old backup. The second thing is to update your WordPress version, or if you're not using WordPress, if you're using something else, like Joomla or whatever, just make sure that you're up to date with a recent version as of now. And this isn't a thing that you just got to do once off. You've got to keep it up to date now. Unfortunately, a lot of people have just managed the site themselves, and that's been fine in the past, but sort of the game has changed a little bit on the internet, so you really do need to keep it up to date. It's a little bit... sometimes you're better off to be about a month behind the latest version, and the reason why is because sometimes if you go straight away for the new version all the time, it can break your plugins, etc. A little bit geeky, I know, but there's people out that are interested in that. And then also update your plugins, because you can get your website hacked just from plugins that are on your site, and plugins are tools that extend your functionality of your WordPress. So you want to upgrade them as well. And generally within WordPress, it'll prompt you which ones to take. I'll take questions at the end. I think I'm going to be running short for time. Okay, and then update your hosting and WordPress passwords. And I'll give there an example. Make them really complex, not something like Fluffy the cat or whatever. And the reason why is because those things can be easily detected with like password sniffer tools, that sort of stuff. So tighten it all up if you haven't done that. Alrighty, the next thing really is malware scanning. So this used to be a nice to have, and now we really consider it an essential. You need this within your business. It's similar to like you wouldn't run your PC without antivirus on it. Now you really need to think about this for your website. It's a bit of a hassle to set up, and I'll show you 3 main options. So the first one's Mcafee Secure. This is the one I used to use. We still use this on big e-commerce stores, but it's a little bit of an overkill. It's got a really good trust seal and people trust it. So if you're doing big dollars online, it's a great one to go with because it'll help your conversion as well, but it's expensive. This is the one we use at the moment, so this Trust Guard. And it's about $47 a month or $67 a month, depending on what you, which option you choose, and it'll put that seal that's down the bottom there. It'll put that on your website. Going through this, getting this malware scanning put on your website is a little bit, no, not a little bit. It's a lot painful. It's a bit of a pain, to be 100% honest. And the reason why is because You apply for it. They give you the code. You put it on your website, and then they got to verify your phone number, your postal address, all that sort of stuff. And then good quality services like these top two, they'll then go scan your website and they'll tell you what's wrong with it. They'll tell you what needs to be patched up, and all those things then need to be fixed before you can get the seal. So, and a lot of them actually aren't to do with your website. They're to do with your website hosting. And many hosting providers just don't pass these tests. So we've had examples before where we've had to change hosting providers to pass these scans. And the hosting that we use is Rackspace, which are based out of the US. And I know Dale uses Anchor, and they're Australian-based hosts, and they pass these tests as well. So either of those can work. So like I say, it's a bit difficult to get it, but it's worth doing. Rackspace hosting, yeah. So if you just go to rackspace.com, yeah, RACK space.com, and that's cloud-based computing. So it's good if your web server falls over, another one picks up and does its job, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I don't really want to slam any brands, but like some of the $4 a month type hostings definitely won't pass your Mcafee Secure or TrustGuard. The only way to tell is really to put it on there, and they'll tell you whether or not it does. And these companies upgrade this stuff all the time. So, and SiteLock, that's an easy one. So if you're going to do the bare minimum, do that one, and it's $29 a month. But the thing with it is they won't necessarily scan like your web server and tell you your web server needs to move your security from here to there, that sort of thing. So, but they will tell you if you've got problems. So it's better than nothing. But I think the TrustGuard's the best way to go.
Brought to you by businessblueprint.com.au.